Welcome to my new Shadow Sister healing video. In my videos, I let your shadow meet your light so you can be whole again. And today we have a theme, the cult of intelligence. And we're gonna talk about shadow and light, but also devil and magician. In a sense, in our reading, I have already picked devils of our world on the table. They represent this kind of archetype enemies of this planet, how you using this kind of let's say Capricorn energy, that we currently have a new moon in Capricorn. So devil energy is always very hard working energy also, but if it's not completely going well, it can be also a card of codependency and all kind of like a dark dark stuff that is not healthy. And we are going to talk about it, and we're going to turn it to the magician, which is always fighting things with knowledge and intelligence. We are having today a theme of cult of intelligence. So magician turns the elements good with the knowledge and intelligence, while devil use codependency and all this kind of illusions. They are opposing forces, but we're going to talk about how we turn these damn devils to a good side. I'm going to help you to see the clarity in this. So let me read a little bit of the new moon in Capricorn, because we are currently having this new moon. So we are having, let me see, I wrote a little bit here in my book for everything. This is a calendar. So currently in this new moon in Capricorn, that is exactly happening 18th of January 2026, there is Saturn and Neptune planets both in Pisces. And they are doing sextile with Uranus. That is in retrograde. What this means? Saturn planet, that is the planet of karma, wants structure, and Neptune wants flow. And Neptune also connects to why your dreams matter. This is not a bad energy at all, what's going on. And together, Saturn and Neptune, you get the best of the worlds. Dreams with foundations, visions with plans, spirituality with practicality. So indeed, these devils, they might have the good point of it. They are grounded. Capricorn is an earth energy. Grounded energy, things need to happen, the plans need to be made, so the visions and goals can come to reality, and this is a good thing. But if the devil has like a devilish plans and it's doing in a not healthy way, with a codependency way, putting others down and all this kind of dark stuff, shit getting loose, then let's talk about that. But we will see in every pile how this devil manifests. Is it a good or bad devil? With the cards too, we're gonna see which wins, which side. So I'm gonna explain you which side is stronger, and then we can try to talk about it, what that would mean. Then the Uranus has been in retrograde since late 2025 and ask you to review what needs to change in your life, particularly around security, values, and resources. And Uranus, indeed, because those are the things, is in Taurus currently. So it was momentarily in Gemini with the fast innovation energy, but now it's in this kind of grounded sign as well. So the focus is currently with this Saturn, Neptune, and sextile in Uranus is in security, values, and resources, and how to get the dreams with foundations, vision with plans, and spirituality with practicality. So that's about it. So this was a little astrology updates. Let me introduce the piles. So I'm Silva, Shadow Sister Silva, and this is my weekly Sunday pick-a-pile reading. A pick-a-pile reading means that I'm going to introduce now the piles, and you, with your intuition, you're going to pick what stirs something in you, what calls you, what excites you, and that's for you. And because these are timeless readings, It can be that you find this reading also after. I'm doing this currently 17th of January 2026, just before Sunday, so I have time to upload this video. But we are having currently these energies. And I'm telling you, like a weather report, what's in the menu. So in the menu, with the devil menu, it's the first pile is Tahiti, King of Pentacles. So this is the devil having money and the holidays. You get a throat chakra crystal, lapis lazuli, and this kind of tarot of oppositions. Bottom of the deck is a tower card, which doesn't promise very good stuff. Tower is usually talking about eclipse as well. It could be the time period even now predicting something going to happen next eclipse as well. This is the karma. Things just will happen. Things will just change like a war, and you cannot help it. So yes, this power games is very much in the menu here, in the shadow side, at least in this deck, is this tower card. So something dark. It is this King of Pentacle having holiday in some beach. Okay, the next, all of these also have advice cards. I'm gonna pull everything live. You will get this Morrigan deck with this. Pile number 2, and yes, the first card also to select visually is this kind of old style casino room. This is also one of this pile number 1. Pile number 2, we got here root chakra crystal, jasper, red jasper, and here we got a miner. Somebody's wanting to take the resources, going deep on the ground. Something is happening here with this miner. Natural resources is interest of this devil. What is happening? You see, and you will get this as a. These all pictures are related to Ostend where I live, but this is some kind of concert taking place. So, and you will get advice from this path of light. This one. As well, in the reading itself, I'm gonna give you my crime and shadow deck. Self-made this kind of mock-up of the shadow and crime. Also talking about what kind of bad things might be happening. We're always gonna tap into shadows in my reading, so we're gonna see that. Pile number 3, you get a billiard player. Somebody's playing billiard and games. 8 of Wands. The third eye chakra crystal, Grey Aventurine, and we got here the Halloween deck, and the bottom of the deck is the world card. Something is happening in the world. Indeed. Oh, I forgot to show, of course, the bottom of the deck of the pile number 2. It is, let me see, it's a justice card. So something needs to be balanced here. Your card, one more, the advice card will come for pile number 3 from this White Light Oracle. The wolf, I got it also here. And you have this image still to connect is general supply of drinking water. There is some kind of old water center where you get fresh water. Somehow the devil is interested in water. And yeah, part of the reading I will also pull from the shadow and the light. So we will have this little like a healing possible, what would be the light side of those darkness that we also now see here, turning this devil to magician. So yes, I start soon my reading of the Cult of Intelligence, and I get the first table ready for you, and see you soon. Welcome to your reading, pile number 1. You've selected this Tahiti, King of Pentacle devil, some rich devil with the money. Gonna see how we turn this devil into magician, but immediately, first thing first, I'm gonna look, and it comes together with this kind of party room, casino. Fits kind of well. Casino and the rich guy. I'm gonna immediately now read you from this. We are always following this book, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I'm gonna read you the first, the cult of intelligence related quote. The more I heard about him, the more interested I become. Let me show this. So, among the few people I had met who'd been at Hampton a while, I asked what the story was with Julian Morrow. Nearly everyone had heard of him, and I was given all sorts of contradictory but fascinating information: that he was a brilliant man, that he was a fraud, that he had no college degree, that he had been a great intellectual in the 40s and a friend to Ezra Pound and T.S. Eliot, that his family money had come from a partnership in a white shoe banking firm, or conversely, from the purchase of foreclosed property during the Depression, that he had dodged the draft in some war, though chronologically this was difficult to compute, that he had ties with the Vatican, a deposed royal family in the Middle East, Franco Spain. The degree of truth in any of this was, of course, unacknowledgeable, but the more I heard about him, the more interested I became. And I began to watch for him and his little group of pupils around campus. 4 boys and a girl, they were nothing so unusual at a distance. At close range, though, they were an arresting party, at least to me, who had never seen anything like them, and to whom they suggest a variety of picturesque and fictive qualities. And then I jump a little bit forward, giving one description of one of the students. He was quite large, well over 6 feet, was dark-haired with a square jaw and coarse, pale skin. He might have been handsome had his features been less set, or his eyes behind the glasses less expressionless and blank. He wore dark English suits and carried an umbrella, a bizarre sight in Hampton, and he walked stiffly through the throngs of hippies and beatniks and preppies and punks with the self-conscious formality of an old ballerina, surprising in one so large as he, Henry Winter, said my friends when I pointed him out at the distance, making a wide circle to avoid a group of bongo players on the lawn. So this was now telling something about this cult of intelligence and how it looks like in this book. We go forward. We have this wealthy elite person. Now we're gonna see with this deck first what is the shadow and crime in this case. We're gonna look answers to that later. But with my tarot decks, I'm gonna just simply show you again the devil and the magician. Not going very much other cards, but we're gonna start to understand what's the story. Morning glory with this. So we have 2 of Wands, which is often talking about plans and even travel plans, but here it says about the node. Like somebody is like a node connecting other people. Innocent traveler that connects the other suspects. And usually this innocent suspect is on the radar, that nobody notices his on her travels, moving between places, and is a messenger. And the day connected to this is Tuesday. So this is a shadow thing. Somebody on the radar, moving, but connecting all the other suspects. So if we want to got this one, maybe this devil is connected to all the mafia in the world. This one. So who is this? Do you know? I'm never gonna say any name what I think, but this one is some kind of node in the story that travels around. In the Cult of Intelligence. Cult of Intelligence is also, of course, a book of CII. And yeah, find it interesting book as well. Maybe it's some wealthy CIA person, this devil, but okay, let it be. Now we're gonna look with these cards. Let me show again the devil in our world currently. Busy. what is happening. Show me the devil. Okay, the two devils shows here. I don't know why, but we have to define this devil with two cards. And then the magician can turn this devil intelligence into the light side. And now we see also which one is stronger. So then it's like which one wins. The devil comes here as the 7 of Wands, very stubborn, territorial person, and 10 of Wands. So this is a hard-working devil. This is completely connected to this kind of firepower and working plans. You as a devil, or you would be this devil, you have a very strict boundary. What is your territory? What is yours? But you are wanting to, let's say, complete this project. Whatever is this, but this is like a just work and more work. It's like a very working like devil. And completing the project is very important here. So not bad cards. It tells just that this person is very busy to work. Even though it's maybe I read soon this cards booklet, but it feels like it's very easy for this devil to carry even a heavy log. It's very easy. But the magician here is 3 of Cups. So friendships. Connections. This can be also soul family. So that will be the savior of this, that there will be actually like a female energy. Some much more tender Empress energy to soften a little bit this kind of manly ways to hardworking ways that this person is wanting to talk about stuff. It's like me with my coffee cup here. But reminding a little bit like the friendship can be needed, like not to be completely fighting against others or just whatever is this project, running it in the way that one-man show. One person is just getting tired with this mission. Well, there are those friends, and you should remember those kind of connections. Healthy soul family even. I'm gonna read this little booklet. Immediately I see the devil is kind of winning here because there is a lot of money here. The projects get done definitely. The Wand energy was already in the shadow and crime. So this devil has money to travel around. So the devil is definitely very busy to get things done. While this magician is kind of taking it easy, just having the cup energy, which is of course emotional intelligence, but that is not nothing. It's actually very like a female energy. That would be like a helpful to balance this. Okay, let's see. There might be this kind of devilish story that somebody has to do everything alone. That could be the thing that you have to break. Like the king has a kingdom to serve. There are also people you need to connect with. It's not just a one-man show. Something like that. It's devilish if you think that you are the only one who has to do everything. Anyway, this is 7 of Wands now, the devil energy here on this deck in the pile. Don't be afraid of challenges. In fact, seek them out now. You have the power to overcome them all and tackle what the majority of your peers could never do. Commitment, magnificence, and a certain sense of righteous superiority will accompany you in great feats. And it was coming indeed positively. It's like a positive devil in this sense, but devil can be a very fire energy to get things done. So not it's kind of talking a little bit like that. It's good actually to get things done, finished. Then also fulfillment and satisfaction will be yours within a short time. A long period of hard work and waiting is at its natural conclusion, and it is likely you will feel tired and have little desire to start again. It must be remembered that life is dynamism and energy. Soon you must take up the burden again. This definitely talks about like this devil is so heavily working, even successful, that there is needed this kind of safe space of connecting with friends and family. It would be balancing this kind of heavily focused on success. So this would be now helpful. A peak of joy and union with those you love is coming. Passion, eroticism, and an increase in the things you value are favored. Act now to create the right conditions. Projects, enterprises, alliances, and periods of shared happiness will make you appreciate the colors of life. Yes, there is like a not just this kind of like not just the work is everything. There is a colors in life, and indeed that is that you should allow this kind of female energy of pleasure and connection. Females are always connectors. So use that side of yourself. Everybody we have the anima and animus. We have a masculine and feminine inside of us. So that is the bringing a little bit balance here, like how to be magician. You enjoy also the victory, and you enjoy all the things you have worked hard for, not to stay in that just grinding power. But this text, like the more I heard about him, the more interest I become. It's indeed it. You have definitely, if you are this devil, something about this devil. This devil has indeed made something valuable or even shockingly powerful in the world, that it's definitely people are having interest, like what's going on, what is this person doing. So it's definitely being noticed. But something is happening on the radar too, and that is the shadow here. And if you spot the person, you will find the rest of the gang. Anyway, let me give now the advice card. Soon we're gonna see also current feelings of your person. This is always also Sunday love reading. This is now pile number one's advice for the devil and magician to find peace. What is it? Sorceress. Doesn't look very peaceful to me, but again, the female energy is here. It's almost looking like a Mother Earth getting angry. Number 7. This also coming back to this devil card. This sorceress advice. Keywords: magic, will, manifestation, tipping the scales. Okay, we talk about the magician. Of course, I'm all the time trying to make you so that the magician would win any devilish bad energy. And you got a female card here also showing very peaceful woman with the glass. Here, same woman maybe has some other message to give you, which is the Morrigan, of course. The Morrigan here as 3 sisters rages and dances, raising energy and weaving it into magic. One of the sisters transforms, half woman, half crow, the second in deep in trance, and the third sister pours an offering on the altar, sealing the intent and desire into the spell. Yeah, not to forget that this is also number 3, so it's almost like 3 sisters come even within this card. Like, don't forget the number 3 is connected to the feminine, divine feminine, and this kind of triple goddess. Above in the smoke, we see the battle they wish to influence. Their skilled magic tips the scales, making the outcome they desire a reality. Their chosen warriors win the day, while the enemies stumble and lose their nerve. This is not the first battle the sisters have influenced, and not the last. The Morrigan has been credited with influencing several battles, both historic and mythological. In the Cat Maige Tuiret, the trio sisters was sent to distract the Firbolg when the Tuatha De Danann first arrived in Ireland. They conjured a magical rain of fire and blood, giving the Tuatha the time they needed to prepare for the battle. And divinatory meaning: the sorceress does not leave things to chance. She weaves her will into threads of reality. Her will can shape the future and influence the world around her. She knows magic is only as powerful as the one who wields it. When the sorceress appears, it signifies magic and a strong will is needed for the situation at hand. You need to actively shape the world around you, whether that is through practical or magical means. The situation will not change and the scales will not tip if you don't take action. Create the world you wish to have around you, view it into reality, thread by thread, through your own will and desire, and through the magic that is inherently within you. The sorceress can also appear when magic of any kind, good or ill, is influencing your situation. Interesting female magic here. We got one more advice card, and I'll show you the current feelings of your person. And of course, not to mention, this is crystal throat chakra is to express yourself. I think this is what needs to happen here. Somebody has to communicate. That's the magic. How well you communicate, and there can be all kind of expression that can be helpful. It's not only words. Can be a song, can be a dance, but really the wild woman energy is sometimes angry. Especially Morrigan is the one who is like getting this kind of purifying anger. That doesn't mean that everything has to be destroyed to ashes, but things have to be said, not to left unsaid, and not to be silent child. There is something about that. Well, this female here as a magician looks very peaceful. Maybe is to say that you can communicate things very peacefully, but in some situations there is a moment when a little bit rougher message is needed. Yes. Don't piss off the Morrigan. Okay, now the shadow and light. This will give you the ultimate guidance of what's going on in this pile. What kind of shadow and light we are dealing with is here. Loneliness and connection. Okay, cool. So indeed, I was talking already about how this person is doing a lot of work alone. This king can be end up in the top of the hierarchy and ruling the things also alone. Can be lonely on the top. And as well, whatever, if you're this kind of upset woman, maybe there is not so many people who always understand this kind of strong expression. But then we are dealing here loneliness and connections. Connection again comes with this crystal. Connect, don't push people away. There's some kind of balance there. Work. 31. Maybe somebody is 31 years old. You're having this loneliness and connection issues. So let's see. I'm gonna find answers, and soon I'm gonna show you current feelings of persons. This is now feeling lonely isn't always caused by not having people around us, but by the lack of meaningful connections with the people in our lives. So even though you might have a lot of friends or you meet a lot of people on a daily basis, you can still feel alone. Maybe the feeling arises when you realize there is no one to whom you can tell your inner secrets, nobody you can confess your pain to, or nobody there that genuinely celebrates your success and happiness with you. This card encourages you to look at the connections you have and see if there is anything you can do to improve them, to make them deeper and more genuine. Casual connections are easy to make, but deeper connections are more meaningful and make us feel more fulfilled. So instead of fearing getting closer to others, see if you can lean in and nourish the relationship you have. You have the ability to steer conversations in different directions. If someone is telling you about an experience they had, you can choose your questions and have them elaborate on how they were feeling in the moment, what they learned from that experience, or what was the best versus worst part about it. Or you can choose to focus on the more factual side of the story, such as where they were or where else they would like to go. Start to be a bit more observant in your communication with others and see if you can notice opportunities for connection to grow stronger and leave you both a little less lonely and a little more fulfilled. And connection with others is daring to give of yourself, showing that it's safe to share with you and that you welcome their true emotions and listen without judgment. An affirmation: I fill my heart and soul with meaningful connections. This came as a magician. This connection to soul family, connection to the friends. It just emphasizes, I guess, the level of communication. You can go deeper than the everyday matters. Here you have all-time projects or work to talk about. Maybe there is some other issues too you need to voice out. Now let's have this current feelings of person, then we close this reading. File number 1. These are now current feelings of person, of the highest person in this planet, who loves you, who would be the match made in heaven. Let's see what the person has said to say to you. The strongest weapon in the world is truth, because truth is indestructible. How you say it? Indestructible. How you say it? Like, yeah, my English. Indestructible. So, yes, talking about the truth is always the throat chakra is all about healing with the truth. What is your truth? It's very good to show your truth. Current feelings of person, gift, gratitude, feeling gifted, grateful, being gift to others, giving gifts, birthday wishes, gift that keeps giving. So there is really beautiful love language in the sense of giving gifts. Then we have here magnetic zeros. You are the apple of my eye, girl. I've never loved one like you. Man, oh man, you are my best friend. I scream it to the nothingness. There ain't nothing that I need. Self-Control by Laura Branigan. Oh, the night is my world. City light, painted girls. In the day, nothing matters. It's the night that flatters. In the night, no control. Through the wall, something breaking, wearing white as you are walking down the street of my soul. Another night, another day goes by, and there is this kind of white rabbit also here. See you somehow. Yes, that was it. That was it. The last one was the white rabbit. A bit Alice in the Wonderland also here. So yes, this was your reading part number 1. I'm gonna prepare the next devil reading. See you there. Welcome to reading part number 2. You've picked this Ten of Swords devil that is a miner. Somebody mining the treasures, maybe of the psyche, because Ten of Swords is always thoughts and a little bit this kind of dark night of the soul, but there is something with this devil. Of course, I see it immediately. This devil would increase some fearful situation, like somebody going to conquer a land with a lot of things to mine, and maybe threatening the other people, like, I'm gonna dig here, go away, this is my land, I need this land for my own property. There's something like this, but there can be also like a heavy dark thoughts here. Know why they are so focused on this material wealth. Let's read now from the book. We have here The Cult of Intelligence. If by romantic you mean solitary and introspective, I said I think romantics are frequently the best classicists. He laughed. The great romantics are often failed classicists. Let's read this thing. This was now the Julian Morrow, this who speaks with him. Let's see, where is my 28? show this devil. He sat in an armchair by the window and motioned for me to sit too. I suppose you come about the Greek class, he said. Yes. His eyes were kind, frank, more grey than blue. It's rather late in the term, he said. I'd like to study it again. It seems a shame to drop it after 2 years. He arched his eyebrows, deep, mischievous, and looked at his folded hands for a moment. I'm told you're from California. Yes, I am, I said, rather startled. Who had told him that? I don't know many people from the West, he said. I don't know if I would like it here, like it there. He paused, looking pensive and vaguely troubled. And what do you do in California? I gave him the spiel. Orange groves, failed movie stars, lamp-lit cocktail hours by the swimming pool, cigarettes ennui. He listened, his eyes fixed on mine, apparently entranced by these fraudulent recollections. Never had my efforts met with such attentiveness, such keen solicitude. He seemed so utterly enthralled that I was tempted to embroider a little more than perhaps was prudent. How thrilling, he said warmly when I half euphoric was finally played out. How very romantic. Well, we are all quite used to it out there, you see, I said, trying not to fidget, flushed with the brilliance of my success. And what does a person with such a romantic temperament seek in the study of the classics? He asked this as if, having had the good fortune to catch such a rare bird as myself, he was anxious to extract my opinion while I was still captive in his office. If by romantic you mean solitary and introspective, I said, I think romantics are frequently the best classicists. He laughed. The great romantics are often failed classicists. But that's beside the point, isn't it? What do you think of Hampton? Are you happy here? I provide the exegesis, not as brief as it might have been, of why at the moment I found the college satisfactory for my purposes. So this was now this thing here about the devil. Now let's see, what was the first thing I pull? Yeah, let's see immediately shadow and the light from this deck. So root chakra is always the safety and security have to be met. It's almost talking about, I don't want to get political here in this reading, but it really can be like some boundaries are crossed and somebody's going to mine some gold and whatever minerals in a land that is not theirs, because this is really like a basic needs that to be met, like somehow like a safety and security. It really talks about somehow like this kind of basic needs that talks a little bit like a war situation, like somebody would just march in another territory. Anyway, now let's see the shadow and a crime in this situation. How it shows. These are, of course, our inner criminals. We're talking about archetypes, and we are talking about this kind of collective unconscious that things happen often inside of us and only after outside. And if I can heal anything of this kind of spooky archetype energies stuck in the twilight, maybe we can solve it without any conflicts arising, without anybody going to mine anything in other people's land. Okay, very similar, same suit. King of Swords. So there is definitely conqueror, but very mentally conquering. This would be in my crime and shadows. The manipulator, authenticity, truth is still anyway important. Criminal archetype, flutter and charm. Control. Interrogator, harsh self. These are kind of negative things. My mind is a weapon. Knowledge, wisdom. Raw, what is it like a... these responses. A fawn response. Anyway, this King of Swords is coming now as the crime. Somebody is influencing with the ideology and with the... We are talking here about cult of intelligence. This would be completely the cult leader here. It's almost like they are charming you with a personality. And then you're just like, oh, okay, come to my land to take all the gold. Like, gates are open. There's some kind of charmer here with somebody intelligently playing the minds of the other. That's the crime. Cult leader, cult of intelligence, kind of like this teacher here also was very, very charming. Even though the Richard Baben was also playing the same game, was not very honest as well, was using witty comments. They both were kind of using the mind as a weapon. And this is happening here. Okay, let's see now the devil in our world. What's happening? It's a little hints about it. Now we go deeper. Show me the devil. Who is this King of Swords charmer? Who is this person here? And how is this magician? Let's see which one wins, which one is stronger. Devil, yeah, deception. Going to the enemy's camp to steal the knives before they can hit you. And this is totally about strategy. You have a kind of war situation here. You really have to play the cool strategy game. Very similar as this person wanted to get to this Greek class and was telling like a little bit too sugarcoated stories about his life. Here also there is playing mind games and as well a little bit fraudulent and wanting to win with mind games. That's the devil. Always this deck has now, or this pile has totally sword energy going on here. Okay, the magician is okay. Next step. We are not far from the same energy continuous, goes even further. So somebody is completely in the vicious circle that those mind games work. And they cannot move. They are freezed. So interesting, there is this thing. They're sequent. It's almost like it starts with this kind of like a Kill Bill moment when you go to really almost like a vendetta after people or ideas. And then you do use them to capture people. Here, sometimes this is connected to Gemini, Jupiter in Gemini. So Jupiter energy is often like a expansive energy, and this kind of Jupiter in Gemini card tells about expansion in fears, expansion of everything that limits you. So it's not very positive. We have all these swords going on here. 7, 8, 10, King. It's all mind games here. They are pretty equal because they are following. But there's also this saying like, if you're abused, it's almost like the narcissist always spot the victim. They scan the room and they find the perfect victim. It's a victim card, so you don't have to play those games. You don't have to play along. Somehow, people end up playing those games. Okay, let's see now the advice from this part of light. Is there any part of light here? Looks very much like a conflict, something equanimity, whatever this means. Nine. Interesting that this is 7, 8, 9. It's like a sequencing number. It's almost like things will happen like this. You will see this in the world, you will see this in the world, and then this is the way forward. Equanimity. You do not always control the circumstances of your life, but you do control how you see things and how you respond, and this is what determines your inner experience. Train yourself to see both sides of all that occurs and to transcend your judgment so you can reside in an open-hearted state of peace. And equanimity is one of the core teachings of the Gita and yoga in general. It is referred to in many verses throughout this text and is found in other seminal works such as the Upanishads and the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. The opening lines of the Yoga Sutras and Patanjali says, Yoga union, integration and equilibrium comes with the cessation of the fluctuations of consciousness. When we experience this state of yoga, we abide in our true nature, which is peace, love, and wisdom. At other times, however, we become identified with the fluctuation of the consciousness, forget who we are, and react to things going around us. At first encounter, this idea of looking upon everything with an equal eye seems counterintuitive, as we have been truly conditioned and programmed to judge and categorize everything we encounter as either good or bad, positive or negative. This categorization translates into like or dislike, and then to attraction or repulsion. This judgmental eye is the source of the suffering, for it leaves us reacting to everything we encounter. Yoga and the Gita advise us to train in being even-minded, in seeing both sides of people and events, and in steadying our minds in a state of peace. So look equally upon pleasure and pain, gain and loss, success and failure as you encounter the battle, and you will be free of suffering. Wow, this totally how you have to see this devil, because this would be suffering, that you react in the way to feel a victim. No victim archetype. You have to go it with a more peaceful mindset, which is look equally upon pleasure and pain, gain and loss, success and failure as you encounter the battle, and you will be free of suffering. And equanimity is being free from the pull of emotions, free from attachment and clinging, likes and dislikes, attraction and repulsion. To free ourselves from the pattern of reaction which comes from the judgment of good and bad, we must begin to see both sides of the things going on around us. When we find ourselves reacting negatively to something, to bring ourselves back to the balanced mental state of equanimity, we should look deeper into the situation and ask ourselves the following questions. What can I learn from this situation? How can I use this to help me grow? If I wanted to turn this into a benefit to me, how should I see this and what should I do? What are the hidden blessings I'm not seeing? What empowering qualities is this helping me acquire? So this is how you could fight this thing. And truth is that even in this root chakra crystal, there is an archetype playing mother and victim. And the empowering archetype for this would be mother. So taking care of the things, but indeed not falling victim of this kind of propaganda or thoughts, because thoughts can be always changed. So recognize what's yours and what is others. What is implemented to you, whatever social media, whatever things are coming, they are trapping your mind and making you freeze, while you could be free when this mind is not trapping you. It's like mind games are happening here. That's it. Okay, now before we go to see the current feelings of person, we see still this shadow and light. This advice for point number 2. What we are talking about here as a shadow and light. Growth and pain. You have to grow with this pain. There is a pain in the table, but that is a growth moment to transform that vicious circle into virtuous circle and start to understand what kind of circles you are busy with. You have a choice, free choice, usually, still, to See who are good for you, which kind of circles and people are good for you, and what pain can teach you. There can be no growth without pain. We often resist change and growth because it might be painful to let go of what is known to us. We fear what we could become without it. It is easy to fall into the habit of focusing too much on what we leave behind rather than what we have to gain. You may feel stuck where you are at and fail to realize that you are on a constant journey of growth. Your actions, experiences, and previous thoughts and emotions are your roots, and they will always be part of you. But on the other hand, you can use these to your advantage and grow new branches that you have never thought of before. While things are taking form, it might feel turbulent and painful, but eventually those things will become part of your stable roots. Ask yourself how you think about change and growth. What are the things you are resisting? And what are the things you have to gain? The pain we experience when going through growth may have originated from the fear of showing our true selves, our insecurities, and vulnerability. To truly grow, acknowledge that it is okay not to be perfect. Find courage to face your own fears and the strength to tear down or lower your wall of judgment towards yourself and others. An affirmation: I embrace the pain and make way for growth. Very nice message for exactly like this. Almost like a Empress is coming back, because this would be the empowering archetype. The Empress would just grow all kind of vines. This would become more like a ivy, like a just things are growing and liberating you. The growth liberates you. And as well, this kind of peaceful mindset. Let's see now current feelings of person, part number 2. Curious to see what love is here for this little suffering victim archetype. What is then still there is a love? There is still love. What is it? Well, it sucks to be honest and it hurts to be real, but it's nice to make some love that I can finally feel. Shadow Days by John Mayers. They tried to write me off. I wrote the next chapter. Wow. Wow. Powerful lion here. Then current feelings of person. Live from vision, freedom. That's freedom. Focus on guidance with your values. Values hold your ladder to success together. And take action towards your vision. Safe, focused, aligned way. It's gonna wrap it busy here. Yeah, it's good to have vision, even if you would be blindsided, in the sense you can have your inner vision. Nobody can take that away from you. Even outside world can be full of pain. You can go inwards. And then current feelings of person, be your own kind of beautiful. So having that kind of strength to be who you are, whatever pain you had, it's your journey. It's also not to judge, because this was talking about not judging. Acceptance is a big part of awakening. So if you want to awaken now from this victim archetype, you have to kind of see the beauty in all of this, also how you can move the pain into purpose, for example. So I think this was now your reading. I don't verify anything. Let's go to the pile number 3. Welcome to your reading, pile number 3. Drink coffee for you. It's cold coffee, but let's go. What we have here a devil of a billiard player. Games are played in this world. Some player guy. It's devil energy. Let's read now this. This. Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is my new series. To say I didn't mention it maybe ever when I started. There is a 12th week I will go through this book. So every single week I have a title, and this week's title is Cult of Intelligence, a little bit connecting itself to the CIA, because there's a book about that if you want to read. Name, interesting book. But today we are talking about how you can turn this archetype devil, 8 of Wands, kind of manifesting a lot of movement and things are just happening. But this devil, indeed, let's see, is negative or positive, because Capricorn, new moon Capricorn especially talks about this kind of moment when you can be career-wise and like a practical way, making plans and making things and things to come true. That it can be actually very positive in the sense of how much things you get done. So it's not necessarily bad. So the quote here is, I believe that it's better to know one book intimately than 100 superficially, he said. I know the modern world tends to not to agree with me, but after all, Plato had only one teacher, and Alexander. And this is quite a long part, but I'm gonna read it. Get to know this devil. However, before you accept, there are few conditions to which you must agree. What? I said, suddenly alert. Yes, devil is always making deals. Here also, Julian Morrow, the teacher, is now having a deal for this Rikard paper. Will you go to the register office tomorrow and put in a request to change counselors? He reached for a pen in a cup on his desk. Amazingly, it was full of Mont Blanc fountain pens. Meisterstücks, at least a dozen of them. Quickly he wrote out a note and handed it to me. Don't lose it, he said, because the registrar never assigns me counselees unless I request them. The note was written in masculine, rather 19th century hand with Greek's ease. The ink was still wet. But I have a counselor, I said. It's my policy never to accept a pupil unless I am his counselor as well. Other members of the literature faculty disagree with my teaching methods, and you will run into problems if someone else gains the power to veto my decisions. You should pick up some drop-ad forms as well. I think you are going to have to drop all the classes you are currently taking except the French, which would be as well for you to keep. You appear to be deficient in the area of modern languages. I was astonished. I can't drop all my classes. Why not? Registration is over. That doesn't matter at all, said Julian serenely. The classes that I want you to pick up will be with me. You will probably be taking 3 or 4 classes with me per term for the rest of your time here. I looked at him. No wonder he had only 5 students. But how can I do that? I said. He laughed. I'm afraid you haven't been at Hampden very long. The administration doesn't like it much, but there's nothing they can do. Occasionally, they try to raise problems with distribution requirements, but that's never caused any real problem, any real trouble. We study art, history, philosophy, all sorts of things. If I find you are deficient in a given area, I may decide to give you a tutorial, perhaps refer you to another teacher. As French is not my first language, I think it's wise if you continue to study that with Mr. Laforgue. Next year, I'll start you on Latin. It's a difficult language, but knowing Greek will make it easier for you. The most satisfying of languages, Latin. You will find it a delight to learn. I listened a bit affronted by his tone. To do what he asked was tantamount to my transferring entirely out of Hampden College into his own little Academy of Ancient Greek, student body 5, 6 including me. All my classes with you, I said. Not quite all of them, he said seriously, and then laughed when he saw the look of my face. I believe that having a great diversity of teachers is harmful and confusing for a young mind. In the same way, I believe that it's better to know one book intimately than 100 superficially, he said. I know the modern world tends not to agree with me, but after all, Plato had only one teacher, and Alexander. Slowly I nodded, trying as I did so to think of a tactile way to withdraw when my eyes met his, and suddenly I thought, why not? I was slightly giddy with the force of his personality, but extremism of the offer was appealing as well. His students, if they were any mark of his tutelage, were imposing enough, and different as they all were, they shared a certain coolness, a cruel mannered charm, which was not modern in the least, but had a strange, cold breath of the ancient world. They were magnificent creatures, such eyes, such hands, such looks, sic oculus, sille ille manus, sic era forebrat. I envied them and found them attractive. Moreover, this strange quality, far from being natural, gave every indication of having been intensely cultivated. It was the same I would come to find with Julian, though he gave quite the opposite impression of freshness and candor. It was not spontaneity but superior art, which made it seem unstudied. Studied or not, I wanted to be like them. It was heady to think that those qualities were acquired ones, and that perhaps this was the way I might learn them. This was all a long way from Plano and my father's car station. And if I do take classes with you, will they all be in Greek? I asked him. He laughed. Of course not. We'll be studying Dante, Virgil, all sort of things. But I wouldn't advise you to go out and buy a copy of Goodbye Columbus, regarded naturalist in one of the freshman English classes, if you will forgive me for being vulgar. George Laforgue was disturbed when I told him what I planned to do. This is serious business, he said. You understand, don't you, how limited will be your contact with the rest of the faculty and with the school? He's a good teacher, I said. No teacher is that good, and if you should by chance have a disagreement with him or be treated unjustly in any way, there will be nothing anyone on the faculty can do for you. Pardon me, but I do not see the point of paying a $30,000 tuition simply to study with one instructor. I thought of referring that question to the Hampton College Endowment Fund, but I said nothing. He leaned back in his chair. Forgive me, but I should think the elitist values of such a man would be repugnant to you, he said. Frankly, this is the first time I have ever heard of his accepting a pupil who is on such considerable financial aid. Being a democratic institution, Hampton College is not founded on such principles. Well, he can't be all that elitist if he accepted me, I said. There is this thing about being chosen. This devil plays on the fact that you are chosen. There's something special about you, and then they are like, you are my game now. We have also here the supply of water. I don't know what is this connection here. Almost like the future, definitely water is important like a power. To have the water sources. Let's see now what is the shadow in this devilish story. We're talking about archetypes and we are talking about inner criminals of our mind and subconscious and collective consciousness. Conscious collectives. We have here, this is usually like the sexiest night, but it's a Knight of Wands, the Witness. Victim archetype, impulsivity, the arsonist, burning bridges. Okay, so kind of like same suit is coming here. There is like, if you do deal with the devils, it has to happen fast. And the shadow here as you are pressured to choose something fast. Otherwise you risk burning bridges, or you even burn bridges with others because you're choosing so fast. So there's that story going on here. Like this person was kind of hypnotized almost by this kind of cult leader style teacher and charmed and then just even felt like this is not right. I'm paying $30,000 for a year and still my studies and I'm studying with one teacher. Like it was not right, but he was like so into this kind of secrets, what's going on with this Greek class. It's attractive. So it's definitely this attractiveness play a role here. Somebody is attracted to something. Occult, intelligence. Let's show now with short cards the devil in this story and the magician can save it. They can be indeed equal. In the last pile there was a little bit this kind of similar energies, or some can be faster. This was first. This is the magician. Okay, so already. So devil is same kind of energy on the pile number 2. Maybe I just had to mention it. 8 of bats, 8 of sword, victim archetype. So devil make you indeed freezed victim, something freeze, while the magician is page of bats, so page of sword, curious page. So it's able to find a way. There's always a sword energy. It's a step further. How curious you can be of your situation, how victim you really are in your life. Maybe it's not true. Maybe it's just like a you said yes to something very fast and you got trapped with this choice. There is a way further. You have to just be curious about the options. There is some other way. And the magician energy is to find with curiosity that. Okay, let's see now the advice card. Doesn't have to be so long reading. And level 3 advice is this. Serap. Angelic energy. 963 hertz. Yeah, it's kind of like if this person would be needing help because he's captured on Devil's Games, because it is Devil's Games for sure. There is this guardian angel. There is something like a higher power, even the higher self, that will find a way. And this is the higher self, to stay curious still. Use all your senses, for example, because this person can still feel and can still hear. Not all is lost if you cannot see clear. You can still use the other senses. Let's read this advice. Serap. Indeed, our body holds our shadow. So this is one powerful way to connect your body and really use all your senses. Kind of get like a Houdini out of a trouble. Here is now this angelic energy. Practice connecting to the joy that is always deep within you. Pay attention to what brings you exquisite delight. If you don't know what that is, you are guided to experiment and explore. Connecting to the joyful capacity of your heart will heal so much negativity and uncertainty. Let your heart relax. Allow the spiritual grace that wishes to reorder your life to manifest its miraculous magic. The seraphim are angelic beings of an extremely high vibration. They are angelic mystics in constant devotion and adoration of the divine. When we passionately fall in love with the divine face of luminous grace, whether it be person who has entered our lives as if they have dropped straight from heaven onto earth, or we feel our heart awakening to new depths of love in meditation with our spirit guides, we are in harmony with the seraphim. When we go through a struggle and are somehow fortunate enough to recognize the protective and healing action of divine grace intervening on our behalf, we can shift to such gratitude. We just want to kiss the sky and sing a love song to the universe. Then we are in touch with our own inner self. Wow. Nice. It's almost like maybe you can still walk away from this situation. This seemed to be a little bit trapped. This person is hiking away. Maybe you will find a way. There is something even if there would be some trapping devilish situation, with curiosity and kind of landing to the inner forces, indeed your heart. That's the way. Okay, let's see the shadow and light for this pile. Pile number 3, advice. Ui. I got 2. This other one is also. Okay, this is relationship and solitude is 1. And then we have also passion and purpose. So I felt like both came. A little bit long to read, but I think maybe you need to hear this. So Reading comes together, of course, in your own head. I just give you the element, maybe something resonates with you, and if it does, give me a comment, like, and do something with this reading if this helps. This is your advice of the shadow and light. Relationship solitude. Relationships and solitude work in symbiosis. Strive to keep a healthy balance at a level that works for you. It might not be the same for everyone. Some people require more alone time and some don't need as much. Have a think, which type do you think you are? Are you currently achieving your ideal balance? Dissatisfaction with either solitude or partnership might be caused by the lack of the other. Unhappiness in a relationship may result from not enough solitude or not feeling good in your solitude. Feeling lonely, on the other hand, can be caused by unsatisfactory relationship. In romantic relationships, it can be hard to create a balance between these two. There can easily be too much of one of them and not enough of the other. Even if you might have balance in terms of the amount between the two, the quality also counts. Maybe you are getting a lot of alone time, but you don't value it as much because you find it hard to enjoy it. If this is the case, take a moment to think about how you can embrace your alone time more. Can you do something that will fill up your heart as much as being together with someone does? This card encourages you to take a closer look at both your relationships and your solitude. Are you living in a bubble with your significant other, or are you starting to become a unit with no separate lives? Do you feel like your partner is always too far away, never spending enough time with you, going on their own adventures? Or it might be you that is always looking outside the relationship and finding your own happiness without including them. Think about it. Think about if there is something you can do to make your relationship more meaningful together, if that's you need right now, or is there something you can do that make your solitude more rewarding so you have more to give in your relationships? Affirmation. I welcome my alone time as much as my relationships. You could also passion and purpose. Really talk about something like this kind of intuitive works would be healing to get out of this victim mentality. I was just recently considering myself also to have a little bit like a walk, it's like a pilgrim style, and sometimes it can really this is very healthy to walk. It can refresh your mind. You need to get somewhere fast. You can really use the time also. Passion and purpose. Passion and purpose are deeply connected. Your purpose is a beautiful light here. I'll keep it here. Your purpose is what drives you forward, your motivation, your fuel to your engine. But if you're being asked what is your purpose in life, you might find that a bit difficult to answer straight away. It is something we rarely reflect over, we just do it. If you were instead asked, what are you passionate about? This is more likely to light up a fire inside of you, and you know the answer straight away. By identifying your passion, you will be most likely finding the answer to what your purpose is. That is somewhere behind it. Look within and see what you can find. Place a hand on your heart and ask yourself what truly makes you happy. In what scenario does time fly and what makes you forget about all the stress you might have? We often go about our lives without reflecting too much on what we are doing and, more importantly, why we are doing it. This card is an indication for you to search within yourself to single out what you are passionate about, what drives you forward, and what motivates you to find different things. It's an indication for you to revert to your purpose by focusing on what you love and care about the most. Try and connect with your inner passion and then see how you can use this in your life to create meaning for others, and in return it will help you to feel what your true purpose is. Without sharing your passion and skills with others, it is only a joy and a passion, but by giving to the world you create a purpose. Yes, it's important to share your passion, and then it becomes a purpose. Affirmation. I trust my passion to lead me to my purpose. Wow, and now still currently feels a person. Beautiful sunlight came here. feel like a red hair now. Maybe there is this fire energy that is here, like passion and purpose is also what the devil is just trying to do with those games. This is totally like the sexiest night in tarot. So there is that. What even if you feel like a stuck and a victim, there is your passionate heart to tell you where you need to go, what you need to do. Okay, current feelings of your person on this planet, the highest person for you, what your person wants to say to you, what they feel about you right now. Okay, one more. This is for you, number 3. Oh, this is Birdie. Hello, handsome. P.S. You are my true love. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful golden bird. Then we choose our roles and behaviors each day. In any moment, we can play one or a combination of 5 vital roles. Attention to these possible roles leads to a life without intention. Bring awareness to them all. Activate. What are those 5 vital roles? It's not written in this card, but it's good to know that we play many roles in our life. Here, I must become which I say I am. Therefore, I boldly declare, I'm rich. I see and I feel it. I'm rich. In health and happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money. Somebody is wanting to manifest a lot of money. Person. Never give up, and good luck will find you. And Dark Horse by Katy Perry. Damn, I think I love her. Shot it so bad I'm sprung and I don't care. She got me like a roller coaster, turned the bedroom into a fair. Her love is like a drug. I was, and it hit me, and I was trying to hit and quit it, but little mama so dope, I messed around and got addicted. Yes, somebody's addicted. Really, this devil here, this shadow is also kind of very sexy feelings here. And then Nirvana heart-shaped box. I've been locked inside your heart-shaped box for weeks. I've been drawn into your magnet tar pit trap. I wish I could eat your cancer when you turn black. And cut myself angel hair. I got new complete. Forever in debt to your priceless advice. This beautiful heart-shaped box is here that we just took these messages. Maybe you should listen this song. The person is listening this song, maybe thinking about you. This was now your devil reading. Here in pile number 3, there is definitely some very passionate feelings that can sometimes maybe be a lot to process. But being curious is way to go and not give up, I guess this person want to say also. And there was this heart-centered and also finding your purpose and enjoying the solitude even. There's something about maybe codependency is a bit devilish thing, that you think that this solitude here is not good, but it can be good actually for you when you go inwards, when you see those treasures in your heart and your passion and all these things that is part of you. It's not just about that person. It's also putting that love to you and see what you can do with your life. Sometimes, yes, I think it's time to close eyes sometimes and really find the kind of compass, golden compass that is your heart. And then you know where the path is leading you. Then you are more sure that's the magical energy, the magician energy, that you are much more aware and you a little bit drop in deeper. Okay, thank you for seeing this reading. I hope you liked it. And now, see you next week. Then we have another reading. And indeed, these readings are going until 22nd of March. I have 12 weeks this reading. So this was number 3, cult of intelligence. Okay, bye.